Hello everyone, Siren 2007 here, and in this episode of Radios in Depth, I am going to be reviewing the GE 74845A. Now, obviously I don't have it in front of me, because that was actually my dad's old weather radio, and my parents have done some rearranging, because this is being filmed after all the other clips. I'm not sure what happened to the intro that I did film with all the other clips, but it's not on my SD card, so I'm having to refilm the intro, so yeah. Anyways, so unfortunately I don't have it in front of me, but you'll see what it looks like when I do the general overview. So that being said, here we go with the review. So like I usually do, before I get into any of the features and specifications, I am going to give a general overview of the radio. So starting with the front, as you can see here, we have the GE logo in the top left corner. And just a little above it, we have, it says Instant Weather Alert. And then, here on the bottom of the weather button it says Weather on off, and then behind this piece of frosted plastic there are two red LEDs to indicate whether the broadcast is on or off. Then down here on the screen we have a AM LED that indicates when it's AM, and then whenever it's PM it's just the time. And then we have a wake LED which illuminates whenever the alarm is turned on. Then we have the LED, the alert tone LED to indicate whether the alert tone is on or off. And then FM and AM tuning, which is obviously analog. Then on the left side we have our main switch to turn the radio on, music, and then also to engage the alarm, which illuminates the wake LED. And then also we have the switch to turn on and off the alert tone. On the right side we have our volume potentiometer, our switch to switch between FM and AM, and then our tuning dial for FM and AM. On the back we have a risk of electric shock do not open label, 6 screws, the speaker, which I believe is a 3-inch speaker, our alert test switch, and the channel switch, which this thing is so cheap that the channel switch actually fell out, so yeah, that's unfortunate. And then we have the power cord, which is fixed into the radio, and then also we have a wire antenna. So that tells you how old this radio is, considering that the antenna is literally just a piece of wire. And then on the top of the radio we have our snooze button for the alarm, sleep button, sleep button, and what I assume you do is to set the sleep time is use the buttons. You press and hold sleep and then use the hour and minute buttons. And then obviously, and then next we have the hour button to set the hour, minute button to set the minutes, time button, what you do is to set the time, you press and hold the button while you press the hour and minute buttons. Now this is just like the radios like the Midland 74-200 and the WR11, and that you can go forward but you can't go backward. And then we also have the wake button, which, how you do this, I think you press and hold wake, and then that's how you set the alarm. So, yeah. And then, here's the top of the weather button, which has a cloud with lightning coming out of it. And then on the bottom of the radio, we have all of our information. We have our sticker here. Well, actually our label engraved into the plastic. We have the GE logo, model 74845A, power source 120 volts AC, 60 Hz, 7 watt input, made in China, y'all listed, and the Part 16 FCC thing. This made for home or office use, GE 74845A. And then we have the battery compartment. And just like most older radios, like the Midland 74-100 series, this radio uses a 9-volt battery for power. So, yeah. So, the first thing I'm going to get into, here on the GE 74845A is going to be the Siren, or as they call it, the alert tone. So that being said, here we go with that. So the Siren, or the alert tone on the GE 74845A. So to turn on and off the Siren, you use the alert tone on-off switch on the side of the radio. When you turn it on, it will illuminate the alert tone LED. And then to test the Siren, you use the alert test switch, which you saw when I did the general overview. So with that being said, here we go with a test of the Siren / alert tone. And then, along with the Siren or alert tone, the two LEDs behind this frosted plastic here will pulse. So with that being said, here we go with the Siren or alert tone and the LEDs. So with that being said, here we go with that. So as you can hear, as you can probably hear, sometimes when you turn the alert test on, sometimes it starts on the high pitch and sometimes it starts on the low pitch. So yeah. And then if you have the siren disabled and you turn on the alert test, it will just flash the LEDs here. So, yeah, so no matter what, even if you have Siren disabled, you will be alerted. You just won't have a audible alert tone, but you will have a visual alert. So yeah. So the next thing I'm going to get into on this radio will be the antenna. So with that being said, here we go with that. So the antenna on the GE74845A, or rather the excuse for antenna. Like I mentioned in the general overview, this is the antenna. That wire you're looking at is the antenna. Really? Why, GE? Why did you have to use a piece of wire? You had enough space here to put a telescopic antenna. I've taken this radio apart before. They had plenty of room to put a telescopic antenna, but they didn't. Why? They just had to use a piece of wire. Stupid. They had enough space here, but they used a wire. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like that it has some sort of antenna, unlike the I Love IMM 183, which doesn't have a antenna built in. You have to use an external one. So I do like that this thing does actually have a antenna, but it has a wire. Really? Why did GE use a wire as the antenna when they had plenty of room to put a proper telescopic one here? Why? And also, this is all you have for antenna. There's no external antenna jack whatsoever. This is it. If you want to use a proper antenna, what you have to do is either wire a take the radio apart and wire in your own external antenna jack, or you have to cut part of this wire and wire it in, I guess. Although I don't think there's any power running through this. Although you don't really need power, but for antenna, but you know, still. Anyways, I don't even know if there is a wire in here. There probably is, but I mean, it could just be a simple piece of wire with no actual copper in it. Could just be a really tiny tube. I mean, I'm pretty sure there is a wire running through this, but who knows. So yeah, so the next thing I'm going to get into will be reception on AM/FM, because as I said in the general overview, this thing is so cheap that the channel switch fell out. So yeah, so with that being said, here we go with the reception on FM and AM. So AM/FM reception. So yeah, so to turn the radio AM/FM on, when it's in the off position, you can hit the sleep button, and then to disable it, you can press the snooze button. And then when you have the radio in the on position, it will turn on AM/FM automatically. When it's in alarm mode, you can do the same thing. Music. That's on. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and turn it on. Turn the volume down. Although this thing really isn't that loud. So we'll go ahead and start it all the way here at the beginning. Turn the volume up. I assume 87.5. 88.9. That's our local KLF station. Or no, that ain't. That may have been KLF. 90.1. This is run by one of the local universities. Not sure what that is. I think this is 92.5 KLMA. Let's see here. Yeah, 92.5 KLMA. Then go ahead. Somewhere in here should be 94.7 The Brew, KBRU.
For stairs. Huh. Only pay for what you need. Don't miss the makers the summer of that. Grand Cherokee.
Nine 94.7 The Brew, KBRU.
So Eddie, that's my blue checking. With free blue checking, you get e-statements, access to our Best Go app.
Wait, by free you mean
and as you can hear, this thing's not that loud.
what about monthly fees?
It's not that loud whatsoever.
First course being 2012 when they beat the Thunder.
Did you know for every dollar?
99.1 WWLS, I think. I think that's 99.1 WWLS.
Yeah, bucks and six because it was such a ridiculous thing. And he was actually in 2018, 5 years ago.
Not 99.1.
He says, bucks and six. What else am I supposed to say? Bucks in six always.
98.1 WWLS.
For $100,000.
Bucks in six a couple of times during that interview.
Okay. 98.9 Kiss FM. I'm not sure what the call sign is.
By purchasing a Capital One Access Pass.
101.9 The Twister, KTST.
This is only available for Capital One cardholders.
$77.
.com/Capital One for hotels. Supplies are limited.
Microban 24 protects against Staphylococcus aureus and Enterobacter aerogenes bacteria, but does not provide
Someplace.
Yeah, 101.9 The Twister, KTST.
sanitizing spray to keep surfaces sanitized all day. Spray set by Mr. Clean Mouth.
Let's see. Yeah, Magic Wand 4.1 KMGL. Continuing on.
Somebody's radio app. Ace at 5. It'll take PUBG.
And that's it. So go ahead and turn it down a little bit. Go ahead and use this switch here. Switch it to AM. Not sure how good of signal I'm going to get with this wonderful thing. We'll see. I think some sort of religious station. KTOK 1000. some sort of sports station. Then
As in yours and yours alone. Each of our meals comes.
Pick a shot, Rick. 40. So should I give Sean?
oops. Put that back on FM. KOKC 1520. Something else, 1700. And that's it for FM reception. Pretty crap. There's one station that operates on both AM and FM that I didn't get. Although I'm gonna go and give it a break on that because even the WR400 can't pick it up. It's on. Well, I guess it can pick it up right now, but 92.1 FM and 1140 AM. KRMP, which is a heart and soul station. So yeah, and then go ahead and turn on the weather broadcast so you can hear how that sounds. You know what? Where's my screwdriver? I'm gonna take this thing apart. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and follow the message on the back, which says to unplug so that you don't get shocked. I'm gonna go ahead and remove these 6 screws here. So let me do that quickly. Oh, that ain't gonna work. I'm gonna need my screwdriver set. Number 1 will do. Sorry about me doing this one-handed, but... sorry I had to set the camera down. I just need 2 hands in order to do this. Go ahead and use the lid as the lid on my screwdriver set to hold all screws. And these are different. These are shorter, aren't they? Of course, that's if I can get them out. No, they aren't. I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate weather reception on this thing. See how good a signal it can get. This thing has really long screws. I don't know if they're like 2-inch. There's definitely no screw in there. I don't know if they're like 2-inch screws or what. But they're long. In fact, I think they are 2-inch screws. There we are. Go ahead and take this cover off. And here's the inside of this wonderful thing. As you can see here, quite simple. Here's your thing for the weather button. Simple on off. Volume, tuning, FM AM switch. Your buttons on top. Quite simple. Interesting, I don't see a tuning crystal in here. Now to find that channel switch. I think I see it. Okay, on second thought, I'm not gonna bother with trying to find the tuning switch on this thing, because this thing's too complicated. This thing's already old enough. I'm not gonna try and find the channel switch, because I don't want to end up messing it up. Is that everything? Alright, grab my number 1. Does this have 2 screws in it? No, it doesn't. I press one here? I didn't. For the record, I'm not sure when this thing came out. I think it came out sometime in the 90s? Late 80s, early 90s? Okay. So, then go ahead and plug this thing in. I'm not going to worry about setting the time. Well, actually, I'm going to go ahead and set the time. And you can see how complicated this thing is. Okay. So, like I explained in the general overview, set the time, you press and hold the time button. Then use the hour and minute keys. As you can see here, when it's AM, the AM LED is illuminated. We're gonna go with that. It's 6:58, but you know what? It's close enough. Anyways, the next thing I'm going to demonstrate will be, I guess, the alarm function. So with that being said, here we go with that. Oops. Can the volume be... Can the volume be... Oh, it can be adjusted. Didn't think it could. But yeah, go ahead and turn the awful alarm off. So, yeah. So, the next thing I'm going to get into will be the speaker quality. So, with that being said, here we go with that. So, speaker quality on the GE 74845A. I meant to do it before the alarm clock, but I forgot. Anyways, here we go.
Thursday night, clear. Lows in the lower 70s. Sunny.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds horrible. Speaker quality on this thing is absolutely crap. You'd expect the speaker to at least be good enough so you can be able to clearly hear the weather broadcast if an alert gets issued and you press the weather on-off button. For the record, that's the best signal I can get. So yeah. So next thing I'm going to get into will be build quality. So with that being said, here we go with that. Build quality on this wonderful big black brick, or rather the GE74845A. Absolutely crap, as you already know, because the channel switch is broken. This thing is cheap. You saw how the buttons were. Well, I think I showed you. In case I didn't, these are absolutely cheap. I mean, really? The weather button's not secure. And that. But there's a delay from when you press the weather button to when the broadcast turns on. Also, you can do what I've done before, but you can. There was one time where I pulled up on this and it, without pressing down, it turned off. But yeah. Needless to say, build quality on this thing, not that good. So now I'm going to get into the final thoughts on this thing. So with that being said, here we go with that. So the final thoughts on this big black brick. That's pretty much what it is a brick. Now, you may remember, I actually already did a review of this radio, but that was back in July of last year, July 2020, and back then, I was still quite new, to weather and EAS stuff and weather radios. Back then I gave it a decent review, but now that I actually know what I'm doing, and I've reviewed several radios now, I now know that this thing's a complete and total, piece of crap, I'm going to say. Or actually, you know what? You know what? Screw that. This thing is a, brick of shit. Please excuse my language, but that's pretty much what this thing is a useless brick of shit. It has a awful speaker, a awful alert tone, an alarm clock that does not sound too pretty and will scare the crap out of you. This thing has scared the crap out of me before. One time I actually had it in the wake position and it woke me up at like midnight and it scared the crap out of me. So, yeah. Because for a short period of time, I did use this as my weather radio. For a short period of time in 2019. No, 2018. Either way, this thing didn't work well. Yeah, this thing, completely cheap. And supposedly, like I said, there aren't that many people that have these radios. And actually, this is not mine. This is actually my dad's radio that he no longer uses. And he's given it to me. Well, he hasn't really given it to me, but he said I can use it. But personally, I don't want to, because this thing is a brick of shit. I don't want this thing. It's cheap. And yeah, and also didn't go off for alerts. That's another reason why not many people have this thing, is because it doesn't go off for alerts. Mitchell, also known as BenjiCat33, that's his EAS channel. his Siren channel is MonteCat33, but his EAS channel is BenjiCat33. He has one of these, and it's not gone off. Ever. It's never gone off. Sorry about that. The battery on my camera died. And I had to unplug the radio in order to plug in the charger I used to charge my camera battery. So, yeah, so that's why the display's not illuminated, is because I had to unplug it. But yeah, anyways, like I said, Mitchell, also known as BenjiCat33, that's his EAS channel. His main channel / his Siren channel is MonteCat33, but his EAS channel is BenjiCat33. He has one of these. It sits on the very top of his main radio shelf, and it's never gone off. So, yeah, personally, I don't recommend you get one. If you absolutely want to get one, I've seen them multiple places, like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, shopgoodwill.com, OfferUp, LetGo, Mercari, you know, apps and websites that sell used stuff. The three main places I would look for one would be eBay, OfferUp, and LetGo. Those are the three popular websites where people sell used stuff. Mercari is also popular, but it's not as popular as OfferUp, LetGo, and eBay. Facebook Marketplace, it all depends on your area. Most sellers on Facebook Marketplace, they want to either drop it off at your front door or have you come pick it up. Whether that be at a store like Walgreens or CVS or something, or sometimes at their own house. So, yeah. Some of them will ship, but some of them won't. In fact, let me tell you a story. So there's this 12996 listed on eBay. Or I'm sorry, not eBay. Facebook Marketplace. It's from a guy in Kansas. I messaged him seeing if he'd be willing to ship it and how much it'd be. So I guess he looked up the shipping price and he responded saying that it costs a lot more money for him to ship it here to Oklahoma rather than me going down to the hardware store and picking up a WR120. I find that to be kind of rude. And also, obviously, he doesn't get that I want the 12996. Obviously, I want the 12996 because I'm asking you about it. I mean, really? Obviously, I don't want a WR120. Obviously, I don't want it if I'm asking you about the 12996 you're selling. Really? And it's still listed. That was 4 months ago. That's 4 months ago. 3 or 4 months ago. It's still listed on Facebook Marketplace. At this point, I'm thinking about just telling him to go ahead and ship it, and I'll pay for shipping. Because I've really been wanting a 12996. So, yeah. It includes power supply and batteries. So, yeah. So, like I said, at this point, I'm thinking about messaging the seller and just telling him to ship it, and I'll pay for shipping and handling. Because it's only $15. That's the base price. I'm not sure how much shipping is, but I know that the base price is $15. Which, that's a really good deal on a 12996. Because they aren't that common. So, yeah. And whenever one gets listed on eBay, usually ends up getting bid up to, anywhere from $100 to, like, $300. I mean, really? And what makes it even worse Now that's just bids. What's even worse is that whenever a seller decides just to put a price on it and not have a bid, due to people bidding it up to high prices, the seller will list it for the recommended price, most likely, which is probably going to be in the $100 range. I do apologize for stuttering, but yeah. Usually, when a seller puts the base price on $12.996 and not having a bid, usually they go for the recommended price, and usually that's within the $100 range. Really? Why? And they don't even realize it. They aren't experts like I am. I know about how much a radio's worth. WR100's about $20. WR400's 60 to 70, brand new. And then used 40 to 50. WR300s, they used to be anywhere from $20 up to 40, but now they're anywhere from 30 to 60. HH50, I was going to say HH54, but HH50s, 10 to 20. 10 to 20 used, and then brand new 20 to 30. So, yeah. Anyways. So, yeah. But anyways, so like I said, Facebook Marketplace, like I said, most sellers on Facebook Marketplace are going to either want to drop it off at your door or just meet with you somewhere or just have you pick it up at their house. I got the $12.99. I was gonna say $12.996. The $12.519 and the Verge 5 Deluxe on Facebook Marketplace, and all me and my parents had to do was drive to someone's house and pick it up off their porch, and then tuck the money under their rug. So yeah, some sellers may have you do that. Although most sellers will want to either drop it off at your door or meet up with you somewhere like Walgreens or CVS or Dollar General or Lowe's or something like that. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.